хорошо.
Всем привет, друзья! Меня зовут Сильван, с вами канал Сильван Гейм. И произошла небольшая такая нехорошая ситуация. Я забыл выставить микрофон. Записал уже какое-то время, потом замечаю, что я микрофон не поставил для записи. Прошу прощения за странные звуки. Вот, и я уже поиграл, я уже серию начал записывать, а звуки странные, они... Какие странные звуки. В общем, микрофон не выставлен, звук не очень, и все. И получается, запись уже несмотрибельная. Что произошло? За это время я зашел записать приветствие для предыдущего видоса. Там мне вылезло на окно: время опять выставите. Я выставил время, мне такие сообщения давай писать. Я такой: ахаха, как смешно. Вот, и мне говорят: в следующий раз можете выставить свое любимое время. Я такой: ну ладно, давайте выставим. Я выставил в следующий раз свое любимое время. Мне опять вот сообщения там, пописали. Вот, я начал игру и, собственно, сейчас попробуем восстановить последовательность действий. Это мы пропустим, пожалуй. Вот. И веселье это было в следующем.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Здесь вот, возможность есть залезть вот сюда и упасть. А дальше...
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Вообще прекрасная идея.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Да, надоел.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now.
А если
нет?
нет? Я в прошлый раз перезапустил, а что если нет?
Any of these points and so many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Ну-ка. И ты называешь это невыносимым?
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Красава. А без голоса-то получше, смотри-ка. Я думаю, музыка так и будет играть на повторе. Ладно, хватит фигней страдать. Начинаем заново. И погнали
вот
сюда. Собственно, оно обнуляется после перезапуска игры, поэтому мне придется отдельно записывать, как я все вот эти вот прокликиваю. Новый контент, а вот здесь вот я еще не был.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show
Что
you.
это? Ну-ка, давай-ка, я прям рад. Я прям доволен, новый контент. Чё в темноту-то? Алло? О. Ну пускай. Ничего интересного нет? Поехали.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to
Да,
be.
есть
The
такое.
original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which
Dear.
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
О! Здравствуйте.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover
Что-то
with a
новое, да,
fully fledged
интересно.
sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
TVA 2, Deluxe 2. А, понятно.
Calling it the Stanley
Два на
Parable
разных
2
языках.
is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement
Да.
right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Новый контент. They are back. Они вернулись, две двери. Так. Парадигма. Синергия. Envelop. Current. Centric Marketing. Цвет красный. Ага. Ага. Очень все понятно, да. Это вариации на тему двойки, да? Это типа дизайны, которые были тут разные. Интересно. Поэтому можно побродить, просто поразглядывать. Это прикольно.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is
Это мы
going to be,
видели.
but let's take a
Это
look at
тоже.
some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Если кто-то когда-нибудь пытался рисовать объемные цифры, то попробуйте. Возможно, у вас получится что-то вот такое. Но вдруг вы окажетесь круче. Еще я угорнул с вот этого. 2 глаза, 2 уха, 2 ноздри, 2 руки, 2 ноги. Че бы еще парное? Еще 2 почки давайте вот. Че там еще есть парное? 2 легких вот. На разборку человека готовим. И следующая надпись. Кто забрал красный маркер? Надпись ниже. Я. Такой простенький юмор. Мне, в принципе, нравится. 2 ключа. Это дорога к этажу показа. Хорошо. Новые фичи. О, новый контент подъехал. Так. Экспо Холл. Давай. Вот это мне нравится. Это красиво. Вот это хорошо.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Так. Кнопка, говорящая игроку. Кнопка, говорящая имя игрока,
For
играющего
the
в игру.
Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Ну-ка, ну-ка, ну-ка. Имя игрока, и что ты мне скажешь?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Okay, let's do that.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Okay.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose
Jim.
all sense of who you
Jim.
actually are.
Понятно. Хорошо. Идем дальше. Что тут еще есть?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Отличный план. Надежный, как швейцарские часы. Или твои кнопки. О, круг.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Ты охренел? Вот он охренел, скажите мне, пожалуйста. Нет бы дать прыгать везде. Но нет, мы отнимем это у тебя вот 30... Сколько там? 32 раза прыгал. Все, хватит. Что это? Коллект. Ладно. Ладно, ладно, ладно. Хорошо.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on
Почему у меня
accident?
ощущение, что меня
I'm
сейчас
developing a
отпиздят?
technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Ну ладно. Идем дальше.
What else? What other exhibits
Там
haven't we
что-то
seen yet?
открыто. Давай тут походим.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Я откуда знаю? Давай вот этот.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Сука.
Get well someday it is.
Гадина. Ладно.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Так, тут что? Тут бесконечная дыра. Давай в бесконечную дыру залезем. Время и глубина. Давай посмотрим на дыру.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Давай посмотрим.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Не хочу.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
На-на-на-на-на-на.
Okay, Stanley, I
На-на-на-на-на-на.
don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Понятно,
From one
сейчас о землю
perspective,
разобьюсь,
the
да?
infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the
Неплохо.
hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Да-да-да.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't
Чего я
mean.
лишнего
Why
сказал?
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Я не согласен. Слышь ты там, я не согласен. Алло. Ну ладно. Ладно, хорошо.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Хе-хе.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem
Сам
is
ты проблема, понял?
The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this
Есть
time?
такое.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Пойдем.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Ну и ладно. А я нет.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
Ну, она еще короче
I'm
стала.
starting to become extremely
Я так не
certain
играю.
that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Да,
I
да.
suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Давай.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Но это все еще углубление, да? Я спрашиваю, потому что...
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
Да, не работает.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
Понятно,
I
да.
hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Съебался. А я чего? Я вот куда-нибудь вот так вот сяду. И отдохну, потому что перелезть-то через это я не могу. Что происходит? Поехал. А куда поехал? Не понял. Это долго будет. Такой себе лифт в ад. Понятно. Что еще есть? Ну, в принципе, понятно. Ничего такого сверхспецифичного нет. А вот это уже веселей. Однако. Миленько. Не, верни музыку, она классная была. Прикол.
Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the whole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Отлично, ты меня опять оставил. Я опять сейчас куда-то поеду, да? А вот это неожиданно.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Так, в черную дыру не ходим. Черная дыра. Это пизда. Тут карта есть. Exit. Зачем мне exit? Я еще не все посмотрел, подожди.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Какой эпилог? Не понял. Это где-то вот здесь? Какой эпилог? That's new. Но ведро вот, я вижу. Сейчас, подождите, мне стало интересно, а что наверху? Что наверху? Так, чемпион мира по настройкам, почти бесконечная дыра, халявное достижение. Ну, не такое уж халявное, не такое уж и рабочее. Тан-тан-тан. Тан-тан. Эпилог.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Все? Хорошо, хорошо. Говорит Джим. Чемпионат мира по настройкам. А может это будет, когда я эти ползунки пройду? Там мне в последний раз, когда я настроил время любимое свое, мне сказали, что в следующий раз будет дохрена ползунков. Может, вот там надо пройти, а потом уже будет понятно все? Что происходит?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Давай попробуем.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Все, теперь я с ведром, да, буду ходить?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Ну что, давай еще раз пройдем и попробуем другой шарик взять. Почему бы и нет? А, не даст. Все. Ладно. Ладно. Что будет, если я опять к этому... к дыре пойду? Он что-нибудь скажет? Нет, тут закрыто. Ладно. То есть у меня остается одна дорога вон туда наверх. Что мне с этим ведром делать, вот вопрос. Туда не положить ничего нельзя. Поддеть, может, что-нибудь. Не знаю. Мусор собирать. Ну что лестница такая долгая? Без скриншотов. Хорошо.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Давай.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
But.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Давай.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Хуя. Давай посмотрим. Картинка интересная.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ну, заставка не изменилась.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had
Так, я это
arrived on the
могу пропустить, да? То есть вот, все, мы здесь. Шарики на месте. Значит, Stanley Parable 2.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
Ну,
had
баг
simply
остался.
missed a memo.
Туда мы не полезем. Потому что смысла в этом нет. Ну вот. Где?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Какое ведро? Где ты ведро увидел?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Давай, ладно, хорошо. Хорошо, давай посмотрим. Посмотрим, куда теперь это нас заведет.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
Давай,
left.
давай, хорошо. Давай поиграем в твою игру.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find
Давай.
answers.
Пойдем. Если помните, то вот...
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here.
Логично.
It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Не, прикол хороший. Мне нравится. У меня аж мышка выключилась.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help
Ну-ка,
settle
ну-ка,
this
ну-ка.
debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Все? Все сказал.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Гениально, да.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Хорош, хорош. Еще что придумаешь?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Хорошо. Пойдем дальше.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs
Давай,
to the boss's
ладно,
office.
хорошо. Стэнли пошел с ведром. Любопытно, я там не был еще. Деньги утром, деньги вечером, деньги на завтрак. Денежные эти самые.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Хорошо. Все? А чё хоть так? Напозевать-то пробило. Вроде не рано и не поздно. О! Это мне надо. Тут ничего не открывается. Пойдем в кабинет, чё? Какой большой
Stepping
кабинет.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and
Куда
guiding
смотрит
light
камера?
pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Вот сюда.
It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Так, прошу
But Stanley
прощения,
guessed the
уведомление.
correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Да-да-да.
Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Sure.
This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Отлично. А это куда? Или мне сюда и надо было?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Коротит что-то.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Зачем мне убегать? Давай посмотрим.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
А, дальше что-то есть. 3 платформы я вижу. Одну прошел, вторая, оба.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Давай дальше посмотрим.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Ладно.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Да. Сколько абсурдного они написали про ведро, конечно.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Хорошо, хорошо. Алло.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Сильно. Но мы на этом закончим. Пожалуй. Ссылку на плейлист с прохождением я оставлю в описании под видео. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки, тыкайте там что-нибудь под видео. Ну и пишите комментарии, само собой. Ну, а пока, всем пока.